Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, popping in to talk to you about this, and what we're gonna use as the example today is the Danish deception, what the young lady called it, which is I don't think is fair because a lot of Danish people probably upset that she using their country or whatever they name and lumping them all the way in. I think that's what it was. I think I had put the Dutch deception, so y'all got to forgive me. I really don't be paying too close attention, but I was trying to watch her series. And cut your headphones up if you can't hear me. I ain't talking too loud because I'm in my home office instead of the corporate office, and my wife not feeling good, so she next door in the room, so I try not to talk too loud. But I was watching the young lady series, and what I noticed is what we would have seen as looks compatibility. And now this has happened a lot of times. Now, you have to be very careful when you date outside your race, because looks compatibility isn't as easily recognized. So when you are looking at your race, you're very familiar with the features of your race, the looks of your race, the stereotypes of your race, and you know what is said, what is understood, what is believed about looks. So if, let's say, you're an African American like me, if I say Eddie Murphy, you can put his look into a certain category. If I say Idris Elba, if I say Morris Chestnut, if I say Michael B. Jordan, if I say Morgan Freeman, if I say Forrest Whitaker, T.D. Jakes, Kevin Hart, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Shaquille O'Neal, because you are of the race, you very, very familiar with the beauty constructs of the race. And there really isn't any gray area. So it's not going to be a huge argument. It's pretty much going to be divided down the middle. And 90% of people are going to say the same thing. So if I say, is Shaquille O'Neal handsome? Or is he fine? Is he, a top 10% looking man? 90% of black women will have the same answer. And there will be some variations, but across the board, it'll be the same type of thing. Whereas if I have a group of black women and I ask them about 10 different white men, a lot of the black women are going to say, I guess he's okay looking. I'm not really into white men. So I can't really tell you. That's what you're going to hear 90% of black women say. The black women who have dated white men or grew up with white men, went to private school with white men, they'll have a little bit better of an assessment and kind of be able to tell. But majority of black women, and I talk to black women every day, all day. My first call start here in 56 minutes will be with a black woman, and I'll probably talk to 7 or 8 black women today. And majority of them say the same thing. Not really into white guys. Do not want to date a white guy. That would be my absolute last option. And I'll ask them why. It's not going right with black guys. Why not date a white guy? He may see you as a prize. He may cherish you. He may put you on a pedestal. He may really treat you amazing. And they're I'm just not really into white guys. I guess I can consider it if you are promoting it or you're suggesting it. I maybe can consider it, but it just never crossed my mind. That's not something I want to do. Never really thought about doing that. And that would for sure be my very last option. And that's what I hear 99% of the time. So when you go outside your race, it's very dangerous when it comes to meeting strangers. It's different if you go outside your race. And when I say outside your race, you could be any race that I'm talking about. You could literally be any race. When you date outside of your race, what your dad was trying to tell you is you got to be careful, because you don't understand those people. Like, you don't understand their culture. And again, don't just keep this in black and white. Like, you could be Hispanic, you could be Asian. If an Asian dates a black, an Asian dates a Hispanic. If a Hispanic dates a black, a Hispanic dates a white. You don't understand their culture. You could grow up with them, go to school with them, but if you were not raised by them, if you did not live with them, and even if you were raised by them and you live with them, but you are not one of them, you are seen as different. You are seen as an outsider. Like, I'll notice a lot of people, they'll adopt a child of another race and they don't take the level of care, like external care of that child, the way people of that child's race take care of their children. So they'll just look a little off. They'll look a little different. They'll look a little unkept in the normal sense or normal way that their race keeps their children. And the reason being is because you don't know what to do with that other race's hair or skin or digestive system, the best clothes or their look, whatever it is. And so you have to understand with this looks compatibility that you gotta tread lightly. You got to be careful. So if you notice, like with the Danish deception, here you have a black woman who, she is of Nigerian descent, and Nigerian is different than Black American, because Nigerians who come to America, although they are looked at like a black person, once other races get to know them, they separate them from Black Americans. Because Nigerians who come to America, they come with a vision and a goal and a determination. So they're coming to win. And I heard a white guy on a podcast, he was like, look at the Nigerians. He was like, they're mostly doctors and lawyers and they're very successful. So why are Black Americans complaining when Nigerians come here and dominate? And the reason why is because a Nigerian isn't coming to America with the trauma of slavery, the trauma of Jim Crow, the trauma of segregation. And so their mind has not been warped. Their mind has not been affected. They don't have the same type of trauma. Their trauma may be from their country, and that's why they escaped their country and came to what they feel is the land of dreams. So a black Nigerian, because you may have white Nigerians and whatever other colors or races, but a black Nigerian does not really relate to a Black American. And that's why we saw the young lady in the Danish deception gravitate towards white men. And what happened is, this is what she did not understand. What she didn't understand is how her skin color appears to a man of another nationality and another race. So not a black Danish man, but a white Danish man. So she did not understand that she's still seen as less than, that she's still seen as unattractive, less attractive. But because she lit up And because a man can tell, just like a woman can tell, you can tell when somebody is into you. You really can tell it. And I ain't got through all her parts yet. I'm probably about part 12, something like that, but I be going to sleep to it. She said one time they were sitting, him and her, and they were talking. And she said she was thinking in her head, like, I cannot believe this is my life. Like, I cannot believe this happened. Like, this is like a fairy tale. This is like a dream come true. And she said she was looking at him like that. And he said to her, what? What is it? Tell me. Like, tell me what it is. So because she didn't really process, because she's raised with confidence, raised in a good family, good household, she doesn't relate to Black Americans. Because she speaks very proper, so you don't hear any type of colloquial phrases or any dialect of an inner city or a certain, hood, neighborhood, hood, ghetto, no type of accent. Like how if you hear a Cardi B accent or like, the New York accent, or if you hear Baton Rouge, Louisiana accent, or California, not really, but kind of like the Bay Area, Bay Area has an accent. Of course, the South, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida have an accent. Carolinas have a little accent. So when you look at the young lady from the Danish Deception, she doesn't have an identifiable accent. And if you talk to her on the phone, you probably wouldn't be able to tell her race. And I noticed this because I have a lot of clients like that when I'm talking to them, I can't hear an accent. So I can't tell what their race is. And then sometimes y'all hear accent and I think it's a Black woman and it's a white woman because she was raised in a town with all Black people. And so that language is what our linguistics, it separates us. So just like a white woman who sounds like a Black woman, meaning she sounds like she's from a neighborhood or a city that is mostly Black, she almost never ends up with a white guy unless he's from the same neighborhood. She most likely ends up with a Black guy because she gets ostracized and alienated by white guys who don't have that dialect. So the same thing happens when you have a Black woman who doesn't have an inner city or a Black neighborhood twang or accent to her voice. She won't really Black men won't feel like they can relate to her unless they speak like she speaks. So her tone and her diction will sound more like a white man than a Black man. And it's because she's more educated. She read books. She went to school. She was able to read and learn how a word is pronounced. And the same goes with most white men. That is not the case for most Black men. Most Black men come up in a certain type of household, certain neighborhood where education wasn't really as promoted and reading at home really wasn't enforced or promoted unless he's an exception to the rule. So now you see how that divide happens. And that's where the thing comes in from you taught white. That's why kids say that. And it's not like they mean something like harmful or malicious by it. They're just really, what they are saying that they don't understand that they're saying you sound educated and I sound dumb. What they're saying is you read books and you know what the word you're saying looks like and you know how to pronounce it. So you're saying your words the right way. I'm saying amalams because I've never read a book and saw that it says ambulance. And so I am repeating what I heard my grandma say, and my grandma is repeating what she heard her boss say, and her boss said ambulance because she is a white woman who knows how to read a book, but grandma was the housemaid and she didn't know how to read or didn't go to school for long, so she says ambulance. And then me as the grandson, I say ambulance. I say strawberry and street because I heard strawberry and street, but heard it from a distance, heard it real fast, don't know what it looked like, so I'm just trying to formulate the word with my mouth. So that's how you have to understand how there are color lines, there are nationality lines, religion lines, but there's also linguistic lines. There's diction lines. So like a lady told me once, she was like, I didn't follow you at first because you have a country accent. And I was like, what can I learn from somebody, from a black guy with a country accent? Because country accent means unread. It means you're saying your words the wrong way because you haven't read the words in a book. And in my case, that would be true. I didn't grow up reading books. Like I've read books, but I've never read a whole book. The book that I've read the most is the Holy Bible. And that's where my wisdom comes from. That's where my poetic ability comes from. And my writing ability comes from because of reading the Bible. But just reading like, Moby Dick and the Big Red Hen and Charlotte's Web and Shakespeare and Fahrenheit 451 and all the books that people read coming up through school, I never read any of those books. Like I wouldn't do the reading at school. I would get the Cliff Notes, or I would skip the assignment, or I would just look at the Cliff Notes, and then I was able to write and I was able to think and expound upon something. So I could take a little point from the Cliff Notes and write a whole 4-page essay without having ever owned the book, ever opened the book, and get a 98 on my report. So I had a different type of smarts, but I don't enjoy reading books. I enjoy listening, I enjoy watching, I don't enjoy reading. So that hinders me from growing and being as big as my brand could be, because I have an accent when I'm really relaxed and I'm chilling and I'm just talking. I have an accent. And so that right there separates us. So what you have to understand is that also plays into looks compatibility, because if you are a black woman, but your linguistics, your diction is more like a white person than a typical. And when we speak in typical, we're not talking exceptions to the rule. So stay out the comments with that. Like, understand what we're trying to do and stop trying to be a beg the different spirit. Because we had a few. Had one in the Blessed Tribe yesterday, Sarah Fox, with a picture of a cat. Your butt block, demon. Stay out the comments with your demonic warfare. Could have been the darn Danish deception woman in there. Demon. And so your butt blocked. And so here we have this separation to where if you're a black woman and your articulation sounds closer to a white person than a black person, you may not feel compatible with a black person. So the way that Black Lady speaks from the Danish deception, the way she speaks is like maybe 10% of black men speak like that. So therefore, even if she didn't want to be with a white man, she automatically is more so relatable and relates more to white boys, white men, because of her diction. And that right there then sets her up to be it. And we just talking about her, we talking about in general, but it sets you up as a black woman or Hispanic woman or white woman or black man, white man, Hispanic man. It sets you up to be more compatible with someone of the opposite race. So I know a white boy who he's an adult, so not boy, white man, and he talk just like I talk. So there's very, 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 very few white women who talk like him. So I've never even seen him with a girlfriend yet because of that. So he'll end up gravitating towards black women, but a black woman doesn't know him like that, doesn't really know white men like that. And so she may just look at him as lobster and pasta and try to use him. And then he gets upset because she's trying to use him and she dogging him out, or she cheat on him with a black man. And so then he feel like, the worst of the worst. And then he go get a white woman. But the white woman is like, you're like a wigger. And so she's like, I really can't relate to you like that. And then so he go get a white woman who she talks like he talk. And then it's like, are we both acting? Like, are we both frauds? Are we both wiggers? And so now they really don't, you rarely see that. You rarely see a white guy who talk like a black guy and a white woman who talk like a black woman be together. So our example of that in like the media would be like Whoa Vicky, W.O.A.H, Vicky, which I know her. She followed me. I've talked to her on the phone before. So y'all understand. I be talking about people I be knowing. And Whoa Vicky, she only date black guys. We've never seen her with a white guy. And she was dating a guy, Gabbana, Boont Gang, who got all the tattoos in his face. And it's like, look who she compatible with. Look who she go and have to date. And then, is her name Bad Bunny? No, ain't that the guy? Something, maybe her name something. One of them went on Dr. Phil. It could have been the one who went on Dr. Phil, and I can't remember if that's Whoa Vicky or if it's the other one. But they kind of the same thing. And guess what? They was like, you ain't finna be the white girl who talk black. Like, we finna fight. I don't know if it was them two was at odds or it was one. But guess what? They only date black men. Why? Because of their accent. Because of how they grew up, where they grew up. So they gravitated towards a black scent is what it's called. And so this is what you have to understand too, where you may struggle if you don't have an accent, or if your voice is ambiguous and it puts you more like another race than your race. You may struggle. It may be hard for you when it comes to dating. And so how a deceiver, a user manipulates looks compatibility is they come in and they get with an outcast of another race. So we'll use the Danish deception for an example. Here you have this white guy who he sees this black woman who is clearly smitten. Like he sees her kind of stare at him, kind of put her hand on her mouth or drop her mouth open or just stare really hard. He sees her looking like that when they're talking. Then he sees her ask him for his Instagram and try to be slick by asking his friend for his Instagram too. So now he sees she made the first move. We talked to them, but we didn't ask them for their numbers or for their Instagram. She came, and not her friend, because she never said who her friend was or showed her friend. I would imagine her friend was white, but her friend could have been black. Her friend didn't ask for the Instagram. She asked for the Instagram. So she takes and makes the first move. So now that is the worst thing you want to do to a user. So now here you have the white man. He says, okay, she's black. So she does not get attention from white men who look like me. She may get attention from white men who look like Mark Zuckerberg, but they broke. She may get attention from white men who looks like Alexis Ohanian, Serena Williams' husband, but she doesn't get attention from white men who look like me. So he clearly knows that, because he has eyes. He looks around. He sees how it goes down in Denmark. He sees how it goes down all over the world, everywhere he travels to. So he sees it. He knows. So not only is she not used to attention from a man who looks like me, but she also made the first move. She came and asked me, a white man, for my contact, for my Instagram. So now he smelled blood in the water, which he could have let her go and let her slide had she not initiated the contact. She most likely would have never gone through that. But what a user is looking for is someone who doesn't look on like their level, and who is thirsty, desperate, ready Freddy, open like 7-Eleven and the McDonald's drive-thru. That's what a user is looking for. So that's why you should never make the first move on somebody, especially if you're a woman, that you know is out of your league or could be out of your league, or somebody who doesn't look like your ex that was in love with you and you was with for a long time. So if you see somebody and they look better than anybody you've ever been with, never make the first move. And even if they make the first move, you have to have strict boundaries. The number one boundary that's going to keep you safe from a user is no loaning money. No loaning money, no giving money. I need to specify that because sometimes y'all are taking, oh, you said don't loan money. I just decided to give the money. So that's different. No loaning money, no giving money. No asking anybody else for money to give them. No connections. No putting them on. Like, the only thing you give them is your time and your words. You giving them words of affirmation and quality time. That's it. Because when somebody could possibly be out of your looks compatibility zone, you can get manipulated. You can get used. And this guy, y'all give me 1 second. Somebody knocking on the door. Sorry about that. Had a package at the door, had to sign for. And so you never want to make the first move on with someone who could possibly be out of your looks compatibility zone, because the thing about it is, this is what you got to understand about looks compatibility. When you go outside of your range, when you go outside of like your norm, you set yourself up to get used. You literally are playing yourself. We see this happen a lot with professional athletes. They will go, and because they have money now, they will get a woman who looks like nothing they have ever had. They'll get a woman, let's use a black guy for example. They'll get a white woman that look better than any white woman they could ever sniff. when they were a regular guy. They will get a black woman that look better than any woman they could ever sniff. The thing about it, you have to realize, when you get your raise, when you get your promotion, when you get your house, when you get your car, when you get your new job, when you get your insurance payout from your parent who passed away, when you get whatever, when you get elevation, if you are single and you dating, you got to be careful. Like, you have got to be careful. Like, you gotta be you're gonna have to ask somebody. Like, reach out, ask me. And I have to tell people the truth. Sometimes people, I never really have it where nobody don't agree per se. And it doesn't happen often where somebody is out of their range. It mostly happens with athletes. It mostly happens with male athletes. And then sometimes it'll happen with women who have a good job. Like, women who have a good job, make good money, or got a good title, they will end up dating or marrying out of their league. And the women will be with a man who basically could get any woman he want, but he don't have a lot going for himself, or as much as the woman got going. And so the woman gets him, and she's attracted to him, and she don't realize that although she is pretty, she's still not on his level in looks, compatibility, and who they have access to. Just job titles aside, who they have access to. So there could be guys who, just based on looks, could pretty much sleep with 90% of women who are sleeping around. Not women who obviously saving themselves or require a real commitment. But the women who are sleeping around, there are guys who can sleep with 90% of those women. And that guy will go and get with a woman who literally just based on looks, no more than 50% of men her race will want her. And so here you have a guy who can bat at 90%. He can hit 90%, but the woman, she can only hit 50%. And I'm not talking about sleep. I ain't talking about sexual in the sense of like for the woman, but because of course any man will sleep with her, but like be with her, she can. 50% of men will want her, and in that 50% that'll say, yeah, like, I'll date her, 70% of them are gonna be beneath her and they're trying to date up. But on her level, majority of those men not gonna want her because they're trying to date up. Men are delusional too. I repeat, men are delusional too. And so now they get together, but it's because the woman is like a 6-figure earner and the man isn't. So now he's like, man, I can have a woman with money. Like, the woman has a house, the woman has a business, or the woman has a very high paying job, 200, 300, 400, 500,000. So now this guy who could pretty much looks wise be with whatever woman he want to be with, he gets this woman, and she doesn't realize that he's more so with her because of her title, because of her money, or because of her status, because of her connections. So this is how users manipulate. So what a user does, and I really want you to think about this, and you may have to think back all the way back to like your neighborhood, where the cool, handsome, fit, athletic guy was with his opposite. But that woman that he's dating has a rich dad, relative, meaning like her dad makes, let's say it's a small city, her dad makes 200K, 250K. Her dad is the supervisor at the plant, at the factory. Her dad got the big F-250. They got a 4 or 5 bedroom house. So she may be 5'3", 180, 200 pounds. He's like 6 foot and chiseled. And people like, why are they together? But he know being with her, he can eat every day. Like she literally bringing him lunch to school or buying his lunch at school. He can go to her house every day because she got just liberal parents. She get to do what she want to do. She might actually be of another race. Like she might be a white girl and he's a black guy. He can go to her house every day. He eating good. Well, they got Reuben sandwiches. I don't even know what that is, but they got a sandwich with the roast beef, turkey, ham, that crisp lettuce, that old shiny good tomato. He over there, he got Dijon mustard. He like, what's Dijon? What's Dijon mustard? Oh, you never had this? He got Dijon mustard on there. He got honey mustard on there. He got mayo on there. Then he got 2 bags of crisp fresh chips. He got him a nice Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper. Her fridge got all the different sodas in it. She got all the sodas. She got all the chips. She got all the snacks. Then because her parents so liberal, he get to go in her room. So he in her room. He in there getting took care of. He in there. All that right there. And she got a little fupa on her. She got a little extra meat on her bones. She also got the brand new Bronco. So now, and she got a credit card she get to use. So his birthday, she getting him purple brand. She getting him chrome hearts. She getting him Robin jean, whatever in style. He get that for his birthday. He get that for Christmas. She get him a gift for Father's Day because she say, you're the future father of my kid. He get all the sodas, all the snacks, all this. So guess what? So when you look at it, you know exactly what it is. And what she don't realize is she getting played. She getting played. Like she happy because she with one of the football players and he starts. So she get to go to the game with t-shirt with his number on it. But what she don't realize is her having that extra meat on her bones. He just with her for her connections, for her money. They take him on vacation. This boy from Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, he all in New York. He all in San Diego, San Francisco on vacation. He all in Toronto. He all around in high school, 10th grade, 11th grade, living, absolutely living. And so a lot of people don't understand that this is how that happens. This is how that happens. And a person, so you have to be very careful and you gotta understand looks compatibility, and you'll understand it by simply looking around. Just look around. For one, look at your past. Look at your past. Y'all forgive me looking for my charger cord. Look at your past. What did your exes look like? That's for one. If your exes didn't look like that or on that level, you got to be skeptical. 2, you got to ask yourself, do I have more than this person? If you have more than that person, you got to be skeptical. If you got more money, more connection, more access, more whatever, you got to be skeptical. 3, you got to ask yourself, is this person like attractive to me? If they're attracted to you, you got to be skeptical. If you have more than them, you got to ask yourself, is this person really attractive? If they really attractive, you need to run. If you have more than them, but they're with you and they're really attractive, And I never forget. I'll never forget talking to women, and they'll be like, one time a lady told me she gave a man 95% of her life savings. 95% of her life savings. Another time a lady told me she gave a man $6,000 within the first 2 weeks that she met him. He asked her for $6,000 as a loan because he was moving into a new place and needed to get furniture. And here was the thing. And after I told her the truth and we talked, I don't know how much more we talked after that, because I think the truth really, really hurt and she kind of knew it. But she would have been considered, like on the scale of 10 and based on looks compatibility, the guy who passed away, he probably would have gave her a 4. He probably would have gave her a 4. Based on his judgment scale, probably would have gave her a 4. And to be honest with you, it's based on looks, beauty constructs, not looks compatibility. Based on beauty constructs. So I can't argue with it. Like, a lot of times y'all will be like, oh, you know, that guy was a jerk or whatever. And yeah, he was a jerk. But some of the stuff was just based on society. It was just, whether you red pill, blue pill, the facts is the facts. So what I do is I try to look at ranges. So I'll say, okay, a guy who is a 10 might say you're a 4. But a guy who is a 4 may say you're a 6. A guy who a 3 may say you're a 8. So everybody has a range. Like, to some woman, I am a 10. To some woman, I am a 2. It depends on her and where she at. So this woman, I would probably give her between 5 and 6, based on body composition and all, based on weight and all of that, features and just the looks constructs in America. The guy, I would say he would be pretty much probably across the board, maybe an 8. Like, if I ask 10 different women, they probably give him an 8. So now you have a guy who's an 8 meets a woman on a dating app who he feels is a 4. And I know how men look at women, so I know he could have honestly felt she was a 2. But she definitely was beneath him. So now he has the confidence. Like, and so think about this. Think about a woman that you think is beautiful. Growing up, I used to think Sanaa Lathan was beautiful. Like, because of love and basketball. And I just love basketball. It's my first love. I was real good at it. So when that came out, I was like, oh, Sanaa Lathan. Okay, that was basketball player. That's the type of one we looking for as basketball player. So Sanaa Lathan. You're not going to fix your mouth to ask a woman that you think is beautiful for a dime. You're not going to fix your mouth to ask her for a dime, because you want to look like you have it all. You want to look like you have it all figured out. You want to look like you have everything together. You want to look like you are the answer to her prayers. You want to look like you are her provider, that you can meet her needs, provide her needs, and exceed her needs. That's what you want to look like when you are with a beautiful woman. So it's like me being with my wife, I think she's beautiful. So I want to meet her every need. Like, she went grocery shopping today. She came home. I took out all the groceries. You know, anytime home, every time home, I take out all the trash, change the trash bag. I just put up 2 Christmas trees. Had to take everything out of the attic. Broke a sweat. Burnt 200 calories. My stomach's still burning because it was such a good little workout. But in the fridge, she had a smoothie made for me, and she had eggs and sausage made for me. So we doing for each other. So obviously she think I'm a handsome, good man because she making me breakfast every day, making me lunch every day, making me dinner every day. And then I'm taking care of every single bill, everything she wants. So she got money for facial, money for massage, money for shopping, and she don't have to work. and every bill is taken care of. Every car note, light bill, water bill, mortgage, everything's taken care of. Office, the office, 2 offices, her office that she don't go to, that she don't work out of, it's $18,000 a year. It's taken care of. And why? Because I love her. I think she's beautiful, and I love her. And so that's how a man wants to show up, like your everything, if he is truly attracted to you. When a man is asking a woman for money, he's not attracted to her. He's not attracted to her no matter what she look like. He's not attracted to her. And he definitely does not love her. He definitely is not in love. He can have some love for her, but it's not when a man is in love and he really attracted to a woman, he'll work 2 jobs. He will work 3 jobs before he asks that woman for anything. He will bust his butt. Like right now, we're in a different season. My life is from, my clients and my supporters. My clients and my supporters, they need more value for their money. So I can't just sell courses. I got to do one-on-ones. My first call coming up in 12 minutes. Got to do one-on-ones. Person need to be able to touch you. Person need to be able to talk directly to you for their good hard-earned money. Like you can't just send them to a pre-recorded video all the time for hundreds of dollars and think you just going to get away with that. So guess what? Where I used to, when the market was high and everybody was doing great, I only had to work 1 hour a day. And that was just filming a 1-hour YouTube video, mention my courses, and my course is selling, my YouTube doing this thing, my book selling, and I work 1 hour a day. So I'm working 5 to 7 hours a week and making over $1 million. The market changed. Now got to work 7 to 10 hours a day because you got to give more, got to serve more people, got to do one-on-one, got to do group coaching, one-on-one coaching, got to do seminars, got to travel, got to produce shows, got to do different things. So the market changed. So guess what? Instead of me taking and saying, hey, baby, I used to only have to work 1 hour to make $1 million, 1 hour a day. Now I got to work 8 hours a day to 10 hours a day to make $1 million. So I just want to work 1 hour a day like I always did. So can you go get a job? Can you use your master's degree and go get a job at such and such? See if you can make 60 to 80,000 a year, and you take care of our core. You take care of the car notes or something. You take care of the mortgage or something. You take care of this right here. You take care of something. And that's what a man who's not in love with his wife and don't think she beautiful, that's what he gonna do. But a man who really, really love his wife and he got it in him to make something happen, he gonna try to make it happen first before he asks her for anything. Now, if I can't make it happen, then I'm gonna go to her and I'm gonna ask her. But if I can make it happen, that's what I'm gonna do. Y'all forgive me, I gotta put this phone on charge. This computer. Give me 1 second. So understand that. Now I got 8 minutes, so I lost a little bit of time. So what you're gonna notice, and I want you to look around and I want you to see this. What you're gonna notice, and you can't look at where somebody is now. You gotta look at their looks compatibility when they got together. So you could look at a couple now and the man is a millionaire and he has like a grossly dad bod, like overly dad bodish. And the woman has a slim, fit, petite physique. And you may look at it like, oh, she with him for the money. But when you look back at their genesis, then you'll see that, oh, the guy was, tall and slim and fit. And the woman was, the same size. But his body has changed drastically and hers just hasn't changed, or vice versa. And so then you understand, okay, they were looks compatible and one of them body just, changed. Not necessarily mean they let themselves go, could have went through health issues, whatever. But one of the things you're going to notice when it comes to looks compatibility and users is you're going to see men and women, black and white, Hispanic, Asian, all races. You're going to see people who are conventionally attractive with people who are conventionally less attractive or unattractive. And I see a lot of men who are seen as attractive by women with women who are seen as unattractive or less attractive by men. But when I look within, the woman either is a doctor, a lawyer, or some other job that makes good money, like over 200K. Nurse anesthetist, nurse practitioner, whatever it may be, makes over 200K, or she comes from money. Her dad is a millionaire, a multi-millionaire. And then here's this guy, he what they call a mogger. He out here really could go out and get the prettiest woman. But the thing about it is, the prettiest woman is rarely a doctor. You rarely see doctors and lawyers who are very pretty or very handsome. You rarely see it. They exist, but it is rare. Because like I said last night, the better you look, the more spoiled you are, the more lazy you become. Now, I have seen some people who are conventionally attractive realize that they can't be broke, that they don't want to be broke. They don't want to have an average existence or normal existence because of their looks. They've never been normal. They've never felt normal. They've never been treated normal. So they realize they have to be successful, and they kick into high gear. They use their looks and they become successful. They become successful based on their looks when they kick it into high gear, and they make it because of their looks. Like, they'll become rich, and then after becoming rich, they then take and get with their equal. Whether that person makes money or not, they get with their equal, but typically they'll get with their equal and try to form a power couple, and then both of them start making good money. And that's what they'll try to do. So understand that users of all races and of both genders, all the genders, because some people trying to say they other genders, but whatever they call themselves, roof, whatever they call themselves, there are users in every demographic, and they're looking to come and play on you, play on your insecurity, play on your ignorance, play on your desperation. And what they want from you is money and or connections. And with money comes stability, meaning want to live with you, have you get them a car, have you get them a job. It don't necessarily mean that they don't want to work. Like, they may want to work and may want to bust their butt, but they are going to use your name or your connections to get the job. So you gotta be careful of the users. So if you look at them and you say, they look good, be careful. If you say, they look good, and then they got their hand out and they need you for something, if they need you for anything more than companionship and love, run. 9 out of 10 times. Now, it's not always. There are exceptions to the rule, so that's why you need to click the link in the description, sign up for a one-on-one session. Let's talk about the person you dating. I'll look at their picture, tell me their picture, look at your picture, tell you if y'all looks compatible, let you know what you need to watch out for with them, give you that insight, and you could be an exception to the rule. There are exceptions to the rule. That's why you hear me say 9 out of 10. There is exceptions sometimes. So, hey, think about it. Keep your head up. God bless you. All the important links in the description for the one-on-ones, the solopreneur mastermind. We enrolling. Grab your spot. Definitely. The payment plan is now 5 months instead of 6 months, but you'll see that on Tony Gass's Academy, or you can just, if you pay in full, you save $500. And also the all access membership. Grab your spot in there. It's nearly 80 courses for one low price of $170. One course in there is worth $5,000. All the other course worth at least $500, and it's 77 courses in there. So it's all of that for only $170, and that's a one-time payment per year. So when you get that 170, go ahead and grab that. Go through all the courses that you need, and it'll bless your life. Hey, this Tony Gass. God bless you. Shout out moderators, Blessed Tribe, Patreon. God bless y'all. We'll talk soon.